What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Helpful Hubs. This is episode number 8. My name is Joffrey. I'm one of the Helpful Hubs, and joining me on the line, as always, is Felix. How's it going, Felix?
I'm doing very, very fine. Looking forward for the grand contest that's going to happen in a bit.
Yeah, it is coming fast, and this week's video is a little bit different than what we used to do. It's also slightly out of our comfort zone, but our goal is to get you ready for the grand contest and just general big events. And while your grand contest might be constructed, you might be playing some limited on the side. And so we wanted to cover, for the people that might be more used to playing constructed, we wanted to cover a little bit of limited, just so that everyone has a basic understanding of like what's good, what you should be looking for in a draft, like all those kind of things. It's also worth noting that there are actually going to be some grand contests that are limited this year. So if you're going to Gen Con, there's a grand contest that's going to be limited. So hopefully that will help you get better. We are planning to cover the absolute bases. There is really good content out there when it comes to limited sorcery. I would invite you to check out Mitch's channel, Frogimago, on YouTube, because he's definitely way more qualified than we are at this. I don't know about you, Felix, but obviously I think people will know us more for our constructed performance or reviews. So I come from Magic, and I actually played almost exclusively limited in Magic. And so it was a bit of a switch for me to dive into constructed for sorcery. But I wouldn't say I'm like brand new to limited. I just don't play it as much when it comes to sorcery. What about you?
Well, my very first, I think the first 3 tournaments for Sorcery, they were exclusively limited. That was back when Beta or Alpha was the only set that we had, and there was a whole. It's very hard to compare Alpha, Beta, limited with the more recent ones. So, not sure, to be honest. It was one of my goals to play way more limited with Gothic, but unfortunately, due to time issues, I kind of have to decide go with limited or constructed right now. I think I do still have like a decent understanding a little bit of the more of the basic things in limited, and like when I play limited, I'm not doing too shabby most of the time. So,
Well, we're going to test
but
that understanding today. Let's just jump right into
sure.
it. All right, so we have the website here. It's called draftsorcery.com. This is a community-built tool. I think it was built by Adu on Discord. And this is the official simulator for the summit. So if you're playing limited in the Sorcerer Summit, which I would invite you to do, you basically go to this website, you click here on New Run, and you basically get to draft against bots. And then the website will save your deck, link it to your Discord account so that whenever you want to find a limited game on Discord, it knows exactly with which deck you're playing, which is very helpful. And we were planning on using that today because we want to highlight the tools that exist in the community, and also we play a ton in the summit, so it made sense to use the Summit approved tool. However, we just noticed in preparing for this video that this is currently an AL draft. And it's very likely that if you do a draft as part of a big event this year, it's going to be a Gothic draft. And so we're going to bring it back to what we used to use before this tool existed, which is just a different website, sorcerylimited.com. Let's see how long the pack will take to load. Generally, have you played much Gothic Limited?
Not at all. I think like 2 to 3, 4 times, something like that. And I'm still not sure. I haven't watched. I wanted to do it actually in preparation for that, but I didn't find the time for it. I wanted to watch Mitch's video on the current Gothic set review.
Yeah.
Because I'm not really sure which color is the best one to pick, or which one is the most like people trying to collect during draft, and which one might be the color that is not as favorable. So I think if you know these kind of stuff in advance, it's very helpful because, for example, if you know like fire is the color everybody tries to pick, maybe you're just trying to do the opposite.
That's going to be an interesting dynamic in your GC level event or something like that, because we're going to have a very uneven field when it comes to draft knowledge, right? Like if it was Magic and you go to like some kind of official play draft event, you'd expect everyone to know what's the good color combination for that set, like what are the high picks, etc. I think with Sorcery, the knowledge isn't quite there yet for everyone. It's going to be a little bit harder to kind of play on what you expect people to pick and potentially go against the current, because there's no guarantee that the rest of your table knows what's up.
Yeah, that's true.
But if we look at this first booster, so as always, you're going to have the exceptional first and then the elite or unique if we're lucky, similar to how a booster is structured, and then a bunch of commons. The first thing that strikes me is like the first top row is just all air and then an avatar. And I think that's going to be the first thing you consider if you open this booster is like, do we want to go interrogator?
All right. I don't think I really like any of the more rare cards in the set, like the exceptionals, elites. It's not that really tempting for me. Interrogator in constructed, it is hard to make it work in constructed. I can imagine it's even harder to do in limited, especially since limited usually the fight over resources is even more important compared to constructed. So even if Interrogate gets his ability going, I think your opponent might just be tempted to pay the free life and don't really care about too much. And I mean, of the free Spellslinger, which makes you get a card more in the beginning, I think that's even more valuable than the Interrogator itself. And on top of that, you're losing a whole pick one, like the very first pick, which could be a much better card here. And honestly, I wouldn't go with any of the exceptionals elites here. You want to know which one I would pick here?
Yeah, go for it.
So I probably would go with the Monks of Kabulaza or something like that.
Kobalsa,
yeah, the Earth card. Basically very easy. It's a 4-power minion for 4 cost. Amazing. It can't be modified except by wards. Don't think it's gonna be like the textbook is too relevant in most cases, but it's a pretty good minion. You get for power 4, which is fine. And also, if you give the pack to the next person, to the left or to the right, I think they will be tempted to go with another color than Earth, because the other card in your pack is the other Earth card in your pack's less, which is a card that usually you don't want to pick. So I think the other person might be tempted to take a fire card like Angry Mob, maybe not Angry Mob, like Wild Fanatic or the air cards. So that would be my very first pick here.
Yeah, so it's worth noting, like, what are the kind of things that you would look for in a draft in a pack? Obviously, there's tons of acronyms that people use to describe, what kind of things you need to consider, especially coming from Magic. Bread is one that has stuck with most people. So bread would be, B for bomb, R for removal, E for evasion, which is a little bit harder to translate into a sorcery context, A for aggro, and D for dud. So, like cards that are just generally not worth playing. I think the ones that kind of translate well into sorcery, obviously bombs. If you open the kind of card that you love to see or love to draw in constructed, like a Lord of Lies, and obviously you're going to first pick those kind of cards. But then the next tier down is either removal or basically good bodies, right? It's sorcery, a 4 or 5 power, especially in an environment where removal is going to be limited, pun intended, is always a good choice, right? Like it can easily blocks your opponent's early plays. Like, let's say you pick Bitter Departed, you play it on 2, you get maybe an attack in, and then your opponent plays the Monks of Kobalsa, and then suddenly that 2-drop can't do much more anymore, right? Or you're gonna like 2-for-1 yourself by sending 2 of them into it. So it's very important to look at those high power cards, because they're very few and far between, and they tend to be kind of like the end goal for your limited draft, if that makes sense. And the only thing I would consider picking above a big body, a big resilient body, would be removal. And if we look at the removal in this pack, Screamer isn't really a removal, that's more of a tempo play. There's Trial by Fire, which is not a bad card, but it stops at 3 damage. And you'll find that people prioritize big bodies, meaning 4+, because 3 is that magic number where A 3-power minion is pretty easy to remove, and 4 gets noticeably harder. So Trial by Fire, if you compare it to the monks, just doesn't kill it. And then that's about it. Right? Like we can I guess there's Angry Mob, which would be a great removal card in Constructed. But you should expect your opponent to have between, I don't know, 2 and 3 elite or unique minions. And so that's not enough targets for an Angry Mob to be relevant. So I kind of agree with your pick, actually.
Yeah, I think the other card that strikes me here, you talked about it, is Screamer. I think a free power body is not too bad in this format. And the ability to keep tempo, because tempo would be the other big thing in Limited or in Sorcery in general that you want to have the advantage on. I think you want to have card advantage and you want to have tempo advantage. If you have either of these or combine these, you will basically win all your games. And Screamer kind of does that, right? It's you can probably play, like, every air deck probably wants to play this card. It's not like amazing, but it's fair. You can pick it. The only reason I think the monks are just better, and also there's plenty of other air cards in this pool here that can be considered picking, like the Vampire Bats. I wouldn't hate them too much. Yeah. So yeah, let's have the other guys play air, and we stick with our Earth minion here.
And do you have any preference when it comes to elements in Gothic? Like, let's say your draft is completely open. Is there a card that you want, or an element that you want to see more of in your first booster?
Honestly, I have no idea. I really haven't played it too much, and because of Constructed is so much more driven by the more rare cards like elites, uniques, some exceptionals. Limited is the other way around, right? I don't really know how many of these ordinary exceptional cards perform. So I will probably see some cards where I don't even know what they're gonna do exactly when I see them first.
Fair. I mean, I personally really like Earth in Gothic. It has a good density of big bodies. So does water, but the problem with the water big bodies is they tend to all be evil. And so as a result, you're more vulnerable to cards like Smite, which is an ordinary removal. And if water gets his like big vanilla minion answered, I find that it lacks a little bit of support in the earlier part of the game. And so I quite like Earth. I think it's probably actually my favorite color. So very happy to lock in the monks here. We're gonna let the other players fight for the rest of the pack, which is probably gonna be a bunch of air. And we're essentially cutting Earth because the other Earth card in that pack wasn't very interesting, the Bless.
True.
So
one thing you might want to mention as well, because of the evil minions that are in water.
Yeah.
If you potentially get the Savior as an avatar, which is probably with the Necromancer one of the better avatars that you actually want to pick, you kind of want to be open to that.
Felix.
Oh,
are you a magician? I'll let you finish that point, but the coincidence was too big.
I'm not, since I like to have my sights and my spell books separated, so I'm not a magician. No. Yeah, but yeah, Savior, obviously you can only ward non-evil minions, and if your whole deck is basically mostly evil minions, you don't really want to play the Savior. Yeah. So here we have the Savior, and we already have an Earth card. So that is definitely, I haven't really seen the other cards yet, but that's definitely an option to pick.
Yeah, so Savior and Necro are really a tier above most other cards, and you should consider picking them very highly. Basically first pick, really, if you see one. And I would consider, let's say it's pack 3, you open the Savior, and a decent part of your pull is evil. It might still be the right call because they're that much better than the rest of the options. So definitely watch out for that, and also keep it in mind when you're considering the card that you're drafting, because you should expect to see Saviors and Necromancers on the other side of the field from your opponent.
Yeah. I think we're also very blessed here with the Savior being our second pick.
For sure.
Because that means we kind of know how to structure a whole deck. Playing Savior means we are a bit more defensive. We are not an aggressive deck that plays on curve. We usually play behind because we want to get more token.
Yeah.
So having this information as early as possible is amazing. Probably just would go for the Savior here. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, so first of all, I don't know what the bot picked, and I don't know how high they rank Savior and Necromancer. but the rare is missing. And generally, it's a good analysis to do when you get past the pack. It's trying to understand what's missing. Honestly, the rare being missing means maybe Savior not being first pick is not that bad here. Like, what if they open, I don't know, like a crazy unique or Lord of Lies? Like, I'd probably pick the Lord of Lies above Savior.
Fair.
But yeah, second pick Savior, I definitely agree is going to be the pick. Other notable options, like assuming Savior isn't in a pack just because it's clearly the better card here, I quite like Dreadwing. It's in a different color, but a 4-power airborne body. Yeah, it has a bit of a downside in the Genesis. It's very, very strong. Like, it's going to be really hard for your opponent to interact with it.
Yeah, one thing with the Dreadwing, what you can do is you can tap to draw a site, play Dreadwing and discard the site because it says card, not spell, which is quite relevant, if you ask me, especially in the air decks where you might don't need that many sites anyways, and you just curve out on 5. Other thing would be, I think Cemetery Reds is almost a no-go in any.
Yeah. As much as we love it in Constructed, this is not.
Yeah,
this is not it.
Yeah.
Here.
The other Earth card would be Death Knight, which has potential. I don't love it. I don't hate it here.
Yeah, I mean, if you had a Necro, you definitely pick that, but I don't think you pick it very highly before. I mean, if we had opened in Earth, Noxious Corpse is a serviceable 2-drop. I don't hate Second Wind as well, but I wouldn't. I guess it's pretty high to pick a Second Wind. And then if we had started in water, these two are decent picks. Like, this is a big body with Void Walk, so you can have some shenanigans here. And I quite like the Survivors of Sarava as well.
How does the troll works again? He has stealth or something?
He loses stealth if he moves. So
honestly, I think that if I'm in water, would you pick the Survivor over the Mostro?
It's a good question. I'd probably you're right. I probably would take the Mostral. Yeah. I mean, generally 2-power bodies aren't like crazy good. Yeah. But yeah, the pick here is Savior, so let's not discuss this forever. Okay, so a couple of options here. Let's look at the Earth Guard first, because that's the only color we have so far. We have a Townsfolk. Not great. We have a Penitent Knight, which is, serviceable body and works with Savior. And we have a card that I would usually pick, but unfortunately it's evil here. And so I don't know if this, plays a role in our decision. And then if we look at the other color, there's some decent fire cards. Angry Mob, again, not very likely to find a target, but Gift of the Serpent is really good, especially with the ward, right? Because you can use like a low power warded minion, send it into a big body with Gift, and it eats something for free. And then Searing Truth, which I think you should mostly play as a finisher. It feels a bit scary otherwise. But the flexibility is always helpful.
So I think my favorite card in this one would be the Trunks, the down in the bottom left. Due to the fact that we passed so many viable water cards by now, I don't think necessarily want to be in water as our splash color. Honestly, it's not a pack which will push our deck to the next level. I think we just go with the Penitent Knight here and be fine with it. Everything
is there any
else
consideration for the big body, even though we can't ward it?
I mean, generally, we probably want to go a bit higher with our mana because of the ward mechanic. So that is an option. Usually, 6 mana drops with 5 power is... Well, maybe they can be good. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I just don't know. Maybe it's okay. It's just like my nature just says Penitent Knight, because if I draw into that, I think most of the games you will be able to cast it. And for the undesirables, they might be undesirable to have.
Fair. Any consideration in branching off in a second color already, or is that too early?
Not yet. I think we have seen not too much of like in general, like people picking their colors yet. I think it is possible, because we haven't seen too many amazing Earth cards outside our very first pack, that the guys onto the right of us are also playing Earth, and they already picked the good stuff out. Maybe just they didn't open any. I think the next 1 to 2 packs will give us more information about that. So I would just go with the Penitent Knight, and if the next 2 packs ain't very Earth heavy, I think we need to really reconsider what is our new color as our maybe main or second. But
Well,
for right now, I think.
I was gonna say, once again, you're 2 for 2 on your prediction, because that next pack is not looking very good for Earth.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think we're going for a rat or a townsfolk here. I mean,
Agree.
a lot of our picks are going to be defined by Savior, right? Like, I think if we don't have Savior, we probably don't take the Knight last pack and we take the Undesirables. But you have to consider that most of your cards, you should really consider them as like 1 more mana than usual because of Savior.
Yep.
But yeah, it doesn't look great here.
It doesn't look great. Unfortunately, the good cards are the colors that we already passed to our neighbors. So, I mean, the Ghoul and the Boss Troll probably the cards that stand out here, unfortunately, or the Screamer actually. So maybe
the Troll.
I mean the demon, as well, right? The Mesmerism demon.
Yeah, the Troll
demon.
is notably not evil, so works with our Savior, and the Stealth means you could guarantee to get something good out of its ward, as opposed to like, the Necro sending one of their Skellies into the ward and you basically got nothing out of it. So if we were to branch into a second color, water for the Mostrel isn't bad. We could, generally I like Earth Air as like my color combination. The problem is they're all evil here, right? The air cards. I mean, I guess there's the Ghost, but 2 air thresholds on a 2 mana minion isn't great, and a 2 power body only is not fantastic.
I think it's almost not pickable. I would go with the Trolls just for the fact that I think the better Earth cards in our earlier packs and the better Water cards came a little bit later. So maybe we have a better chance of getting better Water cards later. And the Moss Troll is only 1 Water pip, so
yeah,
it's easier splashable.
Any love for the Barricade here? It would keep
us
mono Earth
playing it often. In my humble opinion, this card makes you lose a little bit.
Wait, you?
Like it,
the
like suffering
egg lover? You don't love this card? That's all about surviving?
I know it's horrible. I picked my card for surviving, so everything else has to fall to that.
Yeah. So I went with the Moss Troll, just so that we can keep talking while the next pack loads. Worth noting, we have 2 3-drops, 1 4-drop, and a Savior. So we have quite a high curve as it is. It will probably be necessary at some point to lower the curve a little bit so that we, don't have empty turns at the beginning. I think casting a 3-drop on 3 without the ward is fine if we are, under pressure. We don't need to have 4 mana for the Knight necessarily. And if we look at the next pack, only 1 air cards, some, pretty average Earth cards. Fire would be okay. Unfortunately, they're all evil. And then if we go back to water, there's the demon again. I think it's unlikely we'll use Monster Morphosis as removal. The imp, unfortunately evil. And then a freeze. Anything that catches your eye, Ear?
I think the best card here is the demon, and it's a little bit telling that we get past quite some water cards. I think water might be the color that we have a more easy time picking better cards for our 3rd pack later. Still hard to in Sorcery. Unfortunately, it's not true that every color is equally represented in all packs.
Yeah,
I'm not even sure if that's in any other TCG the case. But it's definitely not in Sorcery, so it still can be just, I don't know, there we might be a little bit unlucky with the Earth. We can just go Penitent Knight. I'm a little bit afraid, honestly, if we pick that Penitent Knight, we kind of need to play the Earth at some point for sure, and if we just get like 2 to 3 more playable Earth cards, our Earth looks really not that great. So I think I would like make the risk here in picking the demon and
Really?
just.
Do you like the effect that much that you would rather have the same body, but you can't savior it, rather than a knight? The thing with that, I like that our first water card is only 1 pip, and this one being 2 pips scares me a little bit. I'd rather be heavy earth with a bit of a water splash, if possible, rather than like heavy water.
The thing is, I'm currently not that sure if we're gonna be heavy earth.
With the monk, and I mean savior won't most minions that
it's just
can
like,
be worded be in earth.
It looks like the better if there were earth cards. It looks like the better earth cards we already picked out of the packs.
Yeah,
and
maybe not.
We might gonna
exceptional. Yeah, it's hard to say.
Yeah, we
I'm
might
gonna go with the
better.
knight. I trusted your neutral. It's my time to take the wheel. Yeah.
Fair.
So,
okay, next pack.
I think that's a slam dunk, isn't it? I think it's our first piece of removal. It's in a color that we are probably going to play already, given our initial picks. And the rest of the pack isn't fantastic. There's some like decent early fire cards. If we were more in water, there are some serviceable cards. If we were in some kind of like token deck, Raise Militia is really good. I mean, it's generally a decent card, but it especially shines in like an Earth Air, you know, if we had the Death Knight, for example. But here I think we lock in our first piece of removal. It's in our color. It's one of the best cards in the format anyway. Almost unconditional removal for 3 mana is exactly where we want to be. So no air in that next pack. 2 fire cards that, you know, in a more aggressive, maybe necro build, I could see being played. But here I think the pick is either an earth card or a water card, right?
Yeah, I think Gift of the Wolf is just. Yeah, I do like it constructed. I can see it being good in limited as well. Yeah, like
we might be happier now picking some like 2-power minion and being able to ward them early, and having Gift as a way to kind of like catch up on board, right?
Yeah.
So I like Gift here.
Well, now you're doing the predictions. Holy Warrior, that's your 2-drop with ward already.
Yeah. I think I like it here. It's like, yeah, we won't benefit from our ability with it, but it will pair really nicely with Gift of the Wolf. It's an early play that has ward, so we can keep on building around wards potentially. And I'm kind of willing to let water go now that we've, you know, only had the 1 pick, which means I'd rather focus on earth. So I'm going to click on the warrior. I'd rather focus on earth so that if we open a crazy good card in a different color, I'm happy to let water go. I think we'll be earth no matter what. But if I open like a crazy card in fire or in air in the second pack, then, you know, no hard feeling about switching. So that's our initial booster that we see here on the screen. And interestingly, no interesting water card, no earth card, but still some decent air and fire card. And so I don't mind starting a switch now, basically, right?
Fair. I'm just wondering, I guess is there any algorithm, like logic behind picking cards, or is it just like bot picking random stuff?
I'm not sure. If it was Adam's website, I think he tunes the bot picks based on what actual players pick. And this one, I can't speak to the algorithm. We just have to assume that like this is what we would do in real life and where we would get past.
Sure.
Like all of these are decent, but I would prefer a non-evil minion or another piece of removal.
I think honestly, Vampire Bats with a ward, healing us twice, maybe? In a defensive deck? I don't hate it. It's double air.
It's double air.
It's scary.
But I like being earth air the most out of all the color combination possible. Fanatic is also really nice. Having charge with a ward means you get to use it right away proactively. And it's only the 1 pip. So maybe it is between these two. Trial by Fire is also very reasonable. I'm happy to take your pick here. I took command on the Knight earlier, so you get to pick.
Yeah, is Trial by Fire, is it Jason?
It's nearby.
It's nearby, right? I think it's LA. I just go for Trial by Fire because it will honestly just protect us. It's our turn 3 place sometimes.
But we already have so many
just
threes.
stabilize.
Don't we want to choose?
I think most of these free cards are our turn 4s, if you know what I mean. So that's our actually turn 4.
I think I would have gone for the Wild Fanatic. I think I quite like the charge plus ward play, but maybe I'm too matrixed
really
by
sure
the constructed. Because
how
charge plus
much of-
ward is something you want to do in constructed, right? Maybe in limited.
You do, but I don't know if like a 2-power minion is that amazing. If you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Because it will just like bump into something that doesn't really care most of the time, or at least is what I feel.
So we have a Zap. Second win. Lash I don't love.
Nope.
Rats I don't consider. Or we have decent water cards. So we could go back into water with a second Mostrel. I also don't hate second win. If you deploy your minion, your warden minion in your back row, second win is a way for them to like, get a profitable trade that your opponent might not expect. But it is air. It's worth noting that now we're obviously very much earth, but we have a fire card and a water card. So what do you want to do here? We could just double down, second Mostrel.
Yeah,
maybe water's back
double
on the
down,
menu.
or maybe even the Shagoth, just to have like a bigger body at some point. It's I think you're never gonna see a Shagoth being warded anyway. So 7 mana is almost never happening in limited.
But if we didn't take the undesirables, with that same logic, why would we take the Shoggoth above the Mostrel? If anything, the Mostrel has stealth, whereas the Penitent Knight that we took over the undesirables was just a vanilla creature.
We didn't pick the undesirables because it was like so early in the pack that we are like. I mean, we can go trust. I think it's either or. You're not probably losing your games because of that pick. Maybe
I'll go Shoggoth. Let's see how it goes.
Let's go Shoggoth.
I think the fact that we already have so many 3-drops makes me want to diversify a little bit. So we have
oh my god,
big body in water, pretty defensive due to its ability. We have the undesirables that we talked about, or we have the Gift of the Serpent if we want to kind of like go back to, profitable trade with our ward kind of angle.
For me, that's an actually easy Trunks pick, to be honest. I don't see any fire here.
Actually, we should have thought about that earlier. It's going to be awkward to have water for our own Buried Alive. So we're going to have to watch out for that.
That's true. I haven't thought about this as well.
We're making Buried Alive much worse the deeper we go into water.
We can like play with that knowledge a little bit and put our water sites more in the background.
Yeah, maybe.
But
I mean, I guess in for a penny, in for a pound, we continue, right?
Sure. Yeah. Let's go.
Okay, full water. I mean, I guess it's another Mesmer Demon, right?
Yep.
Any consideration for freeze? I don't think so, because with ward, it doesn't really matter if they're disabled or not. Well, do we want to go zombie still? Or would you double down Shoggoth? It is a turn earlier, which is not nothing.
It's not nothing. Yeah, I agree. Maybe we go with the Horde, but then everything I said earlier because, but why this card is so bad and
we diversify.
Yeah.
Right.
It's. I mean, both of those cards are not amazing, and if you, I guess diversify a bit. It's fair.
Okay, 10-ton slug, you get in. We're not happy about it, but you're here. Well, our rare is water. I don't think it's particularly good for us though, because we're probably already going to be behind on board. And if you ever face a necromancer, this is going to feel terrible.
I think we have.
There's probably a clear pick here, right?
There's a clear pick. It's swap.
What? Are you joking?
Swap, right?
No,
it's swap.
It's smite.
Which one is it? You would take smite.
Of course.
Right?
It's unconditional removal against like 66% of the format.
Oh, because it bans evil. Yeah, you're right. True. You don't have to deal.
Oh, I thought you were joking.
Yeah.
No, I think as much as I like swap, I think it's more of a constructed card. It can be good and limited, but like spending a card and a turn, most of a turn to do swap is like in a format where there isn't like defensive sides. We don't have like crazy minion. I think you just take the very, very, very good removal already and just run with it.
Fair.
Yeah.
All right. What's next?
Okay, so we have an elite in
Double
Earth.
Stallion.
Unfortunately evil, but possibly still considered. Gift of the Wolf, which we picked already. Some water cards. Muddy Pig specifically I quite like, because, I mean, it's likely we're going to be on the back foot a little.
Yep.
And it's a great card. It's an easy, like, ward early. Where are you feeling? I think it's between these three, right?
So I think we have quite a decent chunk of mid to late game cards already. With a little bit of Shagger, a bit of Horde. We're being slow with the ward mechanic anyways. I think we need to make sure that we're not going to get overrun early. So Muddy Picks would never be the card I would pick if that would be my very first pick here in the pack one.
Yeah. This is filling gaps we have in the deck, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Mesmer Demon, I do like the card, but I think we already have two of these, or at least one.
Yeah, I think we have two.
Really contested already in the free spot, or spot. Gift of the Wolf.
I would love
It's
for
okay
Gift
to
of
have
the Wolf
one
to wheel, but
true.
Town Priest,
Okay,
do we want a combo? There's a Divine Lens, which
honestly,
I
let
don't
me
think
give
is
it a
worth
read here. Do you
No.
want in a target side? You may break a number. Well, no.
No.
That's. I think this card had potential, but they made a few maybe smaller design mistakes. But maybe we'll see more stuff in the future. But I wish that card would be more playable. Just feels too clunky. It needs too many things need to happen to make this card make its thing.
So then if Town Priest could it feels rough, right? I don't think it's ever Town Priest. It would be a great way to get tempo back, but
yeah. I think in Persecutor you can play it. It's to whatever in not Persecutor. I think we have the Earth sites in front because we had the Buried, right? So maybe Entombed, just again to have something on curve turn 2. I don't hate it. I don't love it. It's
very
again
defensive, but I don't hate it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, what is it otherwise? There's some good other color cards, but I think we're too deep into mud. Verdant is very meh. Townsfolk is meh. Is Townsfolk a better 2 play than Entomb? Because we can ward it, and it's a warded 2-power minion.
Cool thing with the Townsfolk, then you have turns where you can play a thing and a Townsfolk and be flexible with warding or not warding.
I think I like the Townsfolk over Entombed. They both come down on turn 2. Well, okay, so the best case for Entombed is on turn 2, right? So let's compare the best case for Entombed. On turn 2, I'd rather have a 2-power warded minion than a 3-power submerged burrowed minion, I think. And then later in the game, I would much prefer Townsfolk rather than having to cast this burrowed, right?
Yeah, agree with that.
But I could see Town Priest. It just feels like sometimes it's not going to do anything, and sometimes it's going to completely flip the tempo of a game. Like they're going to play this 6-power. You're going to undesirable, and you're going to Town Priest it. You're going to ward your Town Priest, so you have a free chump blocker for 2 turns, and then you can play something else next to it. And then you're going to play against another Savior, and it's not going to do anything.
Yeah, you can treat it as a magic spell, kind of.
Yeah, except it leaves a warded body behind. I kind of like Town Priest, actually.
Floor's pretty low. Ceiling is
but
there.
It's not that much different from a Townsfolk, is it? It's just 1 power.
Yeah. I mean, ceiling's higher on the Town Priest, I guess, compared to
you could steal games, right? Like in the mid game, you just drop this, ward it. You have a chump blocker that can do it 2 times.
Yep. See, that's why I like to do it with Joffrey, because I would have picked the Entombed and be miserable with them.
Okay, slam dunk. I think it's another smite here, right? This Frozen Ore is not bad, honestly, but I think it's smite. We're gonna be really good into evil decks between the 2 smites and the Town Priest. Right, what do we have here?
It's not
much in our This is no Earth. So, well, I mean, there's Virgin Prayer, but I don't think it's great here. Might still be the pick because the other water cores are not very. We could take Ice Shard. Nah,
I was about to say that. I don't love it.
we don't have
It's more of a
tons of
finisher.
magic. Yeah, I could see a one-off. It could also be good against another savior, like the first one pops the ward, and then the other two can go in. So we have the
More
water
relevant for
big
you.
dudes. I think it's probably hybrids, lower the curve a bit. God, there's not much earth coming from this side of the table. There's trial by water, which is
Yeah,
removal. We're gonna have to maneuver our opponent where we want it between the trial by water and the buried alive. But honestly, that's the only pick, right? Because all of the other cards are
Just
not
pick
our
the-
color.
Yeah.
Oh baby.
Oh baby, yeah. This is
Do we try it?
Here's
I think we do, right?
I think you have to. That's just too much of a blowout card.
I think it's like the
easily
rest doesn't
strike it,
bring
yeah.
anything. It's all stuff we already have. So
Yeah, for sure. No, this is the card that I picked for sure here. Let's see. Maybe the free water pips can be concerning, but yeah. You'll probably go like funny thing is we are more into water right now than we were in Earth initially.
yeah. There's definitely some tension between our cards, but like Call of the Sea, I mean, I don't think you'd see that so late in paper.
Yeah.
We can't really land mass or overflow, and anyway, I don't love them in limited. But Screamer and Angry Mob are not in our color. So is it another demon or is it a rat?
It's never the rat. I don't know what they do. Like I do know what they do, but there's no way for me that I ever want to draw them at any point in the game.
I think it's probably a demon that we don't play at the end, right? Oh, the gift comes back. I think it's a gift here.
There's a gift. Yep.
We already have the other cards. We do have a gift as well, but that's one that I don't mind having two of.
Do we have an idea of how many minions we have already?
Yes, I believe we have 15.
15, all right. I think we need to have 2 more minions at least. I usually want to have like 17, 18 minions. Well, at least that's where back in the alpha beta that was the bare minimum amount of minions that you want to have in your limited pool. 24 cards, 7 to 8 being a little bit more flexible is okay with me, but I do need to. I think we need to prioritize the minion.
Yeah, I think it depends where your pool takes you. True. I agree. Like you should have at least minimum 15, but we're definitely going to be there. I mean, we're unlikely to play any of these. I guess I'll take the bones.
Just the hate.
Matter. In case we get a toolbox, let's take the artifact hate.
I mean, we're not gonna play these colors, yeah, but fair.
I
could see it on. Well, I mean, I could see like people pick the Wendell to be good into artifacts, and we just don't play them.
Yeah,
so just not them. But yeah,
I'm gonna cut one of them. Mesmer Demon. I don't think we play 3.
3.
I don't think we play 2 10-ton slug.
Never ever.
I don't even know if we're gonna play. I think the Slimy Mutants is not gonna make it either.
We don't have any synergy with these. Like 6 mana for
hybrids is unlikely to make it.
Well, if you cut the demon, then you cut the hybrid before, right? Because it's just more upside on the demon.
Agreed. So yeah. Well, there's the 2 water pip versus 1 water pip consideration.
True. Yeah.
2 Shoggoth feels heavy. Like our top end looks heavy. I would like to cut one of these 6 drops. And it's probably one of the Shoggoths. Right?
Slimy Mutants again. I just don't want to see the card.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm happy to cut that as well. Oh, your favorite. Do you want to tell us how to pronounce that?
Ersatzplatz. That's how you pronounce it now.
It's probably another buried alive. We'll have to navigate that closely, but
all right, wait. We have the guy that gives us a little bit more time. The knight, the Jon Snow kind of dudes. What is it in the Night Watchman or something like this? Night Watch. Yeah.
I think we have 3 drops.
Yeah, it's true. But I think those are especially good.
I would prefer the Buried Alive, I think.
But then again, I mean, look at the removal that we already have. I think we are kind of okay. We have 2 Smites, Trial by Water, and a Buried Alive.
You don't want your lobster to be too buttery? This is one of the best cards.
Fair, but I mean, you talked about the tension between water and earth.
I mean,
I can see you draw into, like, you can't deal with the thing and you have already, well, whatever. Yeah.
Right? It feels better to me. I think Night Watchman wheels here. There we go. Then we'll both be happy.
Again, I'm here with the free power dude. For me, it's just
right.
Well, maybe the troll.
No. This is 100% this. This card is cracked. It can be warded, and it's cracked.
True. And also the artwork is sick. I like it a lot.
Still. And see, and now the hybrid in the collection makes sense. Now we would get it for free because the card specifically names it.
All right, next one.
Let's see what it's gonna be.
Oh, mate, frozen.
Is that a
knight?
I don't think it's drowned. Probably. It's definitely not drowned. I don't love Metamorphosis.
Yeah, no, not at all.
I think it's a knight.
It is.
I think it's a Lord of Greed.
Why not?
There's nothing else. I mean, there's this, which is not bad, honestly.
I mean, honestly, this is like made
but
for
this is 6 power 6. That could do some cool stuff.
I think the Revenant gives us like ton of making this deck.
It's gonna get desert, lose, and then 0.
There's no desert in this.
There is vast desert.
Yeah.
See, just for getting that wrong, I'm overriding the decision.
I know. It's just like, I think the Revenant is, you don't appreciate having a free power on turn 1 as much as I do.
Okay, I think we found our battle for this video. Let us know in the comment. Are you team Lord of Greed or are you team whatever Revenant name this guy was?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm happy with the Night Watchman here. Are you happy with that?
Yeah, let's go. Yeah.
See,
it's just, the things like from now on, we're going to see mostly picks. I think our deck is like just already kind of done. Unless we're going to see rare cards like Lord of Greed or like Call of the Sea that have like a high impact here. Yeah. This is the way we play.
Small improvements, right? It's probably Noisome Twosome just for the curve, even though we can't word it. But it's honestly, I think it's one of the best 2-drops.
Yeah, definitely.
We have 2 cuts to make because we're currently on 27, but that counts the avatar. So basically 26 spells, 2 cuts. It's probably one of the probably one of the.
All right, how many like go for the removal? We have double Buried Alive, we have Call of the Sea, we have double Smite and Tribal Word. That's like 6 removal.
Yes, and
2 Gift the Soul. I think we might wanna
the Knight here, right? We start to replace our 3-drops with ones.
We already have.
Or it's a Night Watchman. It's just better.
No, it's just better. Yeah, let's go for these guys.
I think we remove. Also, did we ever see like any sites? I feel like we did. We saw some.
We have seen it.
Holy Warrior. Feel the curve.
Yeah.
Because we already have 2 gifts. I don't want to play another Trial by Water because I think we're going to be mostly Earth.
I don't think. I think we also don't want to play too many of the. I mean, the Holy Warrior is. I'd rather have the Undead that we just picked.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Look, all the Night Watchmen were here. They were all watching from the 3rd pack.
I see. Yeah.
I think we just replaced the Mesmer Demon with Night Watchmen progressively.
Might be the most awkward draft I've ever seen. If I remember through in Legend drafts, you were like led for every minion on that power level.
What do we cut? Do we cut the Penitent Knight? We have 1,000 3-drops. Strange Loner.
I think the best one I think the Night Watchman might be the best 3-drop set we have in the thing. Just because
Gift or
threshold
another
and the
troll?
upside. Definitely not the troll. It's probably honestly maybe we should start hate picking here if it would be a wheel draft. I don't like the flare because
Yeah.
flare is obviously pretty
In
good
paper,
in
maybe.
into our
Yeah,
board.
if you're playing, you're playing in your pod, maybe. I think for
Yeah.
the sake of this,
I mean, I think none of these cards is something that we
yeah,
like. We're not
we
gonna
don't
play
play
free
more
gift
than 2
gold. We're not,
gifts. I think we take
yeah,
most draw and
exactly.
probably doesn't make the
Yeah.
deck.
Yeah.
Is it better than a Penitent Knight? It might be.
I think it is.
So cut a knight, got it. Never.
Nope.
Right?
It's a flame strike just because it
Just because we
stayed for
can.
opponent. Yeah.
And then let me immediately put it in our collection.
Right. Maybe we can just cut it here. I think there's gonna be 3 more cards that we gonna get. And they all you can. It's gonna be more of the same that we already have.
Yeah. I mean, I think our deck is already set, right?
Yeah, I agree.
It's probably
There's nothing.
cuts.
We saw all the cards already, so there's no surprise bomb happening anymore.
I agree.
Yes.
And if you had cuts to make, it's probably another knight and
It's another knight. How many are? It's two more cards. No, it's one more card.
yeah, one more card after this one, which is probably a 3-drop, and then I quite like our curve after that. All right, that was our draft of Gothic. Again, very much trying to cover the bases and give you an idea of like what you can realistically see in a pack and the kind of thing that you should think about. But if you ever want more in-depth content, definitely check out other channels. Frogimago is the one that comes to mind as like dedicated to limited. But yeah, we'll leave you for that this week, and we'll catch you next week for another video.
See you guys.